What if the fate of an empire rested on one man's ambitions? Underneath the grandeur of Rome, a storm was brewing. Julius Caesar, a military genius, would soon rise, forever altering the course of history. But what secrets lay hidden in his rise to power? Born into a patrician family in 100 BC, Julius Caesar's early life was marked by privilege and promise. His lineage bestowed upon him a legacy, but it was his ambition that would set him apart. Rome, a city of shadows and whispers, had no idea what was to come. At the age of 16, Caesar faced tragedy with the death of his father. This pivotal moment ignited a fire within him. He began to navigate the murky waters of Roman politics, determined to carve his own path amidst the intrigue. As he climbed the political ladder, Caesar aligned himself with powerful figures. His partnership with Pompey and Crassus formed the first triumvirate, a coalition meant to dominate Roman politics. But alliances can be fickle, and ambition breeds distrust. In 58 BC, Caesar took command of the Roman legions in Gaul. With a combination of strategic brilliance and sheer force, he expanded Rome's territories, winning battles that would engrave his name into the annals of history. His military campaigns were relentless and marked by audacious tactics. Each victory not only increased his power but also his fame among the Roman populace, transforming him into a celebrated hero, a demigod of sorts. But glory comes at a price. As Caesar returned to Rome, he faced mounting opposition. His growing power stirred fears among the Senate, who saw him not as a leader, but as a potential tyrant plotting to overthrow the Republic. The political landscape was shifting, and so too was Caesar's image. He chose to ignore the Senate's warnings, crossing the Rubicon in 49 BC, a bold act of defiance that ignited a civil war. The phrase, crossing the Rubicon, became synonymous with irreversible choices, and for Caesar, it marked the beginning of a fight for his vision of Rome. Chaos ensued, and the stakes were higher than ever. Victorious in the civil war, Caesar returned to Rome not just as a general, but as a dictator. His reforms endeared him to the populace, yet they also deepened the divide with the Senate, who grew increasingly wary of his power. His reforms included the Julian calendar and land distribution to veterans, which transformed Roman society. Yet, while citizens celebrated, whispers of conspiracy simmered among the elite, sowing the seeds of betrayal. Despite his contributions, many viewed Caesar's consolidation of power as a threat to the Republic. The Senate plotted in secret, their fear morphing into determination. They sought to preserve the Republic, even if it meant assassination. On the Ides of March, 44 BC, the conspirators struck. Amidst the chaos of the Senate, they delivered a brutal betrayal. As Caesar fell beneath the daggers, the echoes of his life reverberated throughout Rome. His last words have been lost to history, yet his legacy remains. As the dust settled, the very republic he sought to save spiraled into chaos, marking the end of an era and the rise of the Roman Empire. The aftermath of his assassination paved the way for civil strife and power struggles. His adopted heir, Octavian, would rise to power, transforming Rome forever. Yet, the shadow of Julius Caesar loomed large, an emblem of ambition and tragedy. Caesar's life was a blend of charisma, military genius, and tragic flaws. His story leaves us with questions about power, loyalty, and the fragile nature of freedom. In the end, Caesar not only changed Rome, but the very course of history. Julius Caesar's legacy is a reminder of the heights of ambition and the depths of betrayal. In every corner of history, his name resonates, a testament to the complexities of power and its consequences. Subscribe for more captivating tales from history's shadows. In the heart of the Roman Republic, whispers of rebellion began to swirl. Senators, once allies, plotted in the shadows, their hearts filled with envy and fear. The very power Caesar had amassed became the seed of his undoing, a dark omen of betrayal looming near. As tensions grew, the streets of Rome echoed with the fervor of the people. Citizens debated fervently in the bustling forums, their voices a cacophony of support and dissent. For every cheer of admiration, there were murmurs of discontent brewing. Among the chaos, a feeling of unease pervaded. Caesar, ever charismatic, sought to reassure the masses, proclaiming his devotion to Rome. His public speeches, rich with emotion, were designed to quell the storm within the city. Yet, amidst the crowd's fervor, conspirators solidified their plan. Figures like Brutus and Cassius, once loyal, now stood on the precipice of treachery. Their hearts weighed down by the burden of ambition and loyalty, they prepared to strike. On the Ides of March, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. The sun rose over Rome, casting long shadows on the marble steps of the Senate. It was a day that would echo through time, a day of fateful decisions and unforeseen consequences. As Caesar entered the Senate chamber, the air was thick with tension. Conspirators concealed daggers beneath their togas, their resolve fortified. In that fateful moment, the tide of history was about to change forever. The first blow fell swiftly. A dagger plunged into Caesar's side. Shock rippled through him as he turned to see his assailants. Betrayal etched across his face. He uttered the fateful words, "Et tu, Brute?" A haunting question marking the end of an era. As his life ebbed away, the Senate devolved into chaos. Senators fled in terror while others stood frozen, witnessing the collapse of a dream. The city outside continued unaware, the news of Caesar's demise poised to shatter it. In the aftermath, the Republic faced an uncertain future. Caesar's assassination ignited a series of conflicts as factions emerged, each vying for control. Rome stood at a crossroads, torn between the ideals of democracy and the lure of autocracy. Among the chaos, Mark Antony emerged as a pivotal figure. Charismatic and cunning, he crafted a narrative that painted Caesar as a martyr. His stirring speeches stirred the hearts of the common people, reigniting their passion for power. Antony's power play escalated. He forged an alliance with Octavian and Lepidus, forming the Second Triumvirate. This coalition represented both opportunity and challenge, setting the stage for a confrontation that would change the power dynamics of Rome. However, not all were in agreement. Tensions brewed between Antony and Octavian, each hungry for power. Ambition clouded their judgment, leading to conflicts that would reverberate through the annals of time. The civil wars that ensued became a battleground for ideals. The fate of Rome hung in the balance as armies clashed under the banners of their leaders. The bloodshed was a stark reminder of the consequences of ambition unchecked. In the years that followed Caesar's death, the Republic unraveled. The ideals of democracy faded as the specter of dictatorship loomed large. Each decision, each battle pushed Rome further from the path Caesar had envisioned. Ultimately, it was Octavian who emerged victorious. With cunning strategy and political acumen, he transformed the Republic into the Roman Empire, declaring himself Augustus. The dream of democracy lay dormant, overshadowed by a new era of imperial rule. Yet, the legacy of Julius Caesar endured. His reforms, his vision for a united Rome lived on in the hearts of the people. Even as the empire expanded, the memory of the general who dared to be more than a soldier lingered. In the years that followed, Rome thrived under Augustus's rule. The Pax Romana, a period of peace and stability, emerged as a direct result of the turbulence that followed Caesar's death. Yet, the shadows of the past remained, a reminder of ambition's price. Caesar's calendar reform also left a lasting mark. The Julian calendar was introduced, aligning the year with solar events. It would last for centuries, a testament to his influence beyond the battlefield and the Senate. Through art and literature, Caesar's life inspired countless generations. Poets penned odes, historians recounted his deeds, and the theater immortalized his story. His figure became a symbol of both greatness and tragedy in the human saga. In the centuries that followed, Caesar's legacy would inspire leaders and tyrants alike. His name invoked both admiration and fear, a reflection of the duality of power. The lessons learned through his rise and fall echoed throughout history. The story of Julius Caesar is not just a tale of ambition, but also a cautionary narrative. It teaches us about the fragility of power, the volatility of the human heart, and the inevitable intertwining of loyalty and betrayal. Through the ages, echoes of Caesar's life resonate. From political discourse to cultural references, the lessons embedded in his story continue to shape our understanding of leadership and its complexities. The legacy prevails, ever relevant. Even in popular culture, Caesar's story has found a home. Films, novels, and art portray his life in vibrant strokes, capturing the imagination of new generations. The General's Tale remains a timeless classic, a gripping narrative of ambition and consequence. As we reflect on Julius Caesar, we encounter themes of power and morality. His life reminds us of the precarious balance between ambition and ethics, between the desire for greatness and the responsibilities that accompany it. In every corner of history, Caesar's name rings true. His story transcends time, becoming a part of the collective human experience. Millions learn about him not just as a historical figure, but as a symbol of the human condition. As we draw upon the threads of his life, we find meanings that resonate across cultures. The tale of Julius Caesar goes beyond Rome. It is a narrative of ambition, power, and the repercussions of our choices that we may carry forward. Caesar's legacy, a complex mosaic of triumph and tragedy, lingers on. It serves as a reminder of the delicate interplay between ambition and responsibility. Join us next time as we explore further the lives that have shaped our world. With the memory of his triumphs still fresh, Caesar's next ambition was to reshape Rome itself. The Senate, a bastion of power, became the stage for his grand designs. Yet, this ambition was not without its shadows, as envy and distrust brewed among his peers. The Ides of March approached, a date steeped in foreboding. As Caesar navigated the labyrinth of politics, his popularity soared, yet his inner circle began to fracture. Personal alliances turned into political vendettas, setting the stage for a fateful confrontation. His reforms were sweeping, aimed at alleviating the struggles of the common people. Caesar implemented land redistribution and expanded the grain dole, but these moves drew ire from the elite. The power dynamics of Rome shifted, leaving a wake of resentment. In the Senate, whispers turned to plots. The once loyal Brutus, torn between friendship and duty, became a pivotal player in the unfolding drama. His internal turmoil mirrored the larger conflict brewing within the Republic itself. On the morning of March 15th, an unusual stillness enveloped Rome. As Caesar made his way to the Senate, the weight of destiny hung heavy in the air. An encounter with a soothsayer would echo through history. Beware the Ides of March. The Senate meeting began, tension palpable. One by one, conspirators approached him, feigning allegiance while drawing daggers from beneath their robes. Caesar's last words, et tu, Brute, would reverberate through time, marking his tragic end. As Caesar fell, a wave of chaos erupted within the Senate. The once united factions of Rome splintered, igniting a civil war. Allies turned to enemies, and loyalty turned brittle as the Republic faced its greatest crisis. In the aftermath, the city of Rome mourned and celebrated simultaneously. His death evoked fervor among the masses, while power-hungry leaders emerged from the shadows. Mark Antony, loyal to Caesar, vowed to exact revenge, igniting a firestorm. Antony's stirring eulogy transformed public sentiment. He held aloft Caesar's bloodied cloak, igniting the passion of the people. This moment would change the trajectory of Rome forever, as the lines between loyalty and ambition blurred. As the civil war escalated, several factions emerged, each vying for control. The power struggle led to a series of brutal confrontations. Rome became a battleground, with the ideals of a republic hanging by a thread. In the chaos of conflict, Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir, emerged as a formidable player. With shrewd political acumen, he began forming alliances that would help him rise above the fray, aiming to unite what was left of the Republic. The pivotal Battle of Philippi loomed on the horizon, where Antony and Octavian confronted the forces of Brutus and Cassius. The stakes were high, with the future of Rome hanging in the balance. As the battle raged, the conflict between ideals of democracy and autocracy crystallized. Brutus, once loyal to Caesar, faced the weight of his choices, leading to a tragic end that echoed the moral dilemmas of power. Ultimately, the forces of Antony and Octavian prevailed. The deaths of Brutus and Cassius marked the end of a tumultuous era. Yet the shadow of Caesar's ambition loomed large, casting doubt on the future of Rome. With the opposing factions defeated, Octavian began consolidating power, becoming the first Roman emperor, Augustus. The Republic, once a symbol of freedom, transformed into an autocracy, forever altering the landscape of governance. Caesar's legacy, though marred by his assassination, blossomed into an era of peace known as the Pax Romana. This period would usher in advancements in art, science, and culture that would echo through history. Yet, the memory of Caesar remained a double-edged sword. His ambition inspired greatness, but it also served as a cautionary tale of hubris, reminding future leaders of the delicate balance between power and responsibility. In the centuries that followed, Caesar became a symbol of both strength and tyranny. His life was etched into the annals of history, sparking debates over governance, loyalty, and the perils of unchecked ambition. Even beyond his death, the name Julius Caesar resonated throughout the ages. From Shakespeare's tragedy to modern analyses, his life has been a source of fascination and reflection on the human condition. As we delve deeper into his life, we uncover the intricate web of relationships that shaped Caesar's choices. His partnerships, friendships, and betrayals offer a glimpse into the man behind the legend. Beyond the battlefield, he was a man of letters, crafting eloquent speeches that stirred the hearts of Romans. His words forged connections and rallied support, laying the groundwork for his political maneuvers. His military campaigns were legendary, yet they were not without controversy. The conquest of Gaul brought both glory and suffering, raising questions about the moral complexities of imperialism. Through the sands of time, we find glimpses of his complexity. He was a master tactician, yet his hunger for power led to an unsettling legacy of conflict and control, forever altering the fabric of Rome. Caesar's influence extended beyond Roman borders. His encounters with foreign leaders showcased his diplomatic prowess, yet they also revealed the precarious nature of alliances built on ambition and power. As we explore Caesar's rise, we encounter the religious context of his time. The interplay of tradition and innovation shaped his policies, reflecting the evolving identity of the Roman state. His relationship with Cleopatra stands out as a poignant intersection of power and passion. Their alliance not only shifted political tides, but also intertwined the fates of two great civilizations. As Caesar returned to Rome, a triumph celebrated his victories. But this display of glory ignited jealousy among the elite, deepening the rifts within the Republic and marking the beginning of his downfall. In the twilight of his reign, Caesar sought to restore the Republic's ideals. Yet, the very reforms meant to strengthen it became a double-edged sword, ultimately hastening its demise as he concentrated power. His image transformed posthumously, from a tyrant to a martyr, illustrating how narratives can be shaped and reshaped over time. The layers of his legacy continue to provoke thought and discussion. The story of Julius Caesar does not end with his death. His impact reverberated through subsequent generations, guiding leaders and theorists in their quests for power and governance. As we analyze the repercussions of his actions, we find a cautionary tale embedded within the narrative. The cost of ambition often outweighs the benefits, as history reminds us time and again. Caesar's story is a tapestry woven with threads of valor, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Each chapter reveals the complexities of the human spirit and the eternal struggle for power. In examining the triumphs and failures of Caesar, we uncover the essence of leadership itself. The balance between ambition and ethics remains a relevant theme in our modern discourse. The public perception of Caesar evolved over time, shaped by writers, historians, and political agendas. His story became a lens through which to view the ideals and failures of power across ages. As the world changed, so too did the interpretation of Caesar's legacy. He became a figure who transcended time, embodying both the strengths and weaknesses of human ambition. Today, Caesar's life endures as a subject of fascination. His complexities urge us to reflect on our own ambitions and the consequences they may bring, resonating across the corridors of time. In literature and art, he is portrayed in myriad ways, from heroic to villainous. Each narrative adds to the rich tapestry of his legacy, making Julius Caesar a timeless figure in the human story. As we reflect on the life of Julius Caesar, we are reminded that history's lessons often echo into our present. The struggles for power, the pursuit of greatness, and the repercussions of ambition continue to shape our world today. The tale of Julius Caesar is not just a historical account. It is a mirror reflecting our own ambitions and choices. As we navigate our paths, we carry the weight of those who came before us. In closing, we remember Caesar not only as a conqueror, but as a man whose life epitomized the complexities of leadership. His legacy serves as a powerful reminder of the impact one individual can have on history. Through the lens of Caesar's life, we find a narrative that transcends time. It compels us to consider the nature of power, ambition, and the human spirit's resilience in the face of adversity. With each cycle of history, the story of Julius Caesar continues to inspire and caution future generations. The tale of ambition, governance, and the human experience remains ever relevant. As we conclude this chapter of Caesar's journey, we invite you to reflect on what his legacy means for us today. Subscribe for more stories that shape our understanding of history and the figures who defined it.